if I could do anything to help you change your
Hey, it's time for Thanksgiving training. We're going to do a little Q&A. Joining in here. We are so grateful talking about the lens of gratitude and how we can change our perspective utilizing the lens. Go ahead, give me some Q&A. We're going to be answering questions as we go. For our Friday training this week, it's the Thanksgiving training Q&A. I'll bring the answers. We're going to go ahead. We're on LinkedIn. We're on Instagram. We're everywhere for you. Next week training is on budgeting, so join me 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. If you haven't registered, you get the exexercies, my books for free, training, just david@dmeltzer.com. And we love it. We're working it hard here. Just finishing up a quick video. While you have these questions, go ahead, put them in, and we'll be answering those. Welcome, everybody. Nina, welcome back. Thank you, Kristen, Stuart. Welcome. Change your lens, change your life.
I promise you'll be happy. And if you can attain that, if you can pursue that and allow others to share in it with you, with the things that you tell them, with the places that you take them, and the things that you do.
Give me a thumbs up if you can hear that.
All are determined upon one thing. Do you have a lens of gratitude? What is your lens? If you can create more clarity, more balance,
we'll be answering them in 1 minute
lens, then do so.
As we're going live
if you
here.
Can brighten your lens
Thank you very much.
Looking for the love and the light in everyone, then do so.
Here we go.
That lens
Twice
is
a day.
Advancement. It changes. You can improve your lens every single day of your life. That should be
talking about the lens of gratitude. We're going to ask questions on how to find the light, the love, and the lessons and everything that we do. Everyone, welcome to join. Do some Q&A. Thank you so much on this great holiday. We're just showing a video here.
I will give love. I am health. I will give health. I am inspiration.
Thank you.
I will give it. I am accountability. I am forgiveness. And most importantly, you are gratitude.
How do we regain momentum after losing it? Remember, motivation gets you started, gets you restarted, gets you up, gets you back up. But inspiration will continue that journey of setting up the next. All right, here we go. The lens of gratitude. Well, the Q&A is filling up. Everybody go ahead, put your questions in there. This is the gratitude training. It's time for BYOQ. Bring your own questions. I'll bring the answers. Let's get right to it with the lens of gratitude. Let's see how we answer this. What do you think the most important skill set is to have? Well, I wrote this in my newsletter, right? I think gratitude is a skill. I think refocusing is a skill. I think that student of the calendar is a skill. But gratitude by far is the most important skill. If you say thank you before you go to bed and when you wake up, I guarantee your life will change. Go ahead, DM me a thumbs up every day. I will see and hear and show the progress that you make. The biggest skill you can have is that lens of gratitude because everything's okay. Everything you are just seeing as some superpower within it, some purpose that's greater than you in it. And it gives value and passion and purpose to everything. Do you have internships? Yes, I do. See, BYOQ. We have internships. Go ahead, email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Love to have people from all over the world. Now that we are remote, we have remote internships. Love to have you join us. For a 24-year-old striving to be a life coach, what is the best way to gain credibility and where would you start? Thanks. If you are going to be a coach of any time, of any type, not determined of how old you are, but more importantly on what are you good at? What can you teach? So if you're a captain, Fortnite player, you could be a Fortnite coach. If you want to be a life coach, well, what skill set are you going to life coach in? And what you need to do is be more interested than interesting in that and make sure that you can bring and guarantee and articulate the quantitative value of whatever coaching it is. If you're not prepared to guarantee your coaching in a quantitative manner, you're not ready to coach. If you're not ready to guarantee your coaching in a quantitative manner, meaning, look, I only work month to month, don't pay me unless I bring quantitative value to you. What's the process in changing your perspective? It's not a process as much as it is a practice. And so what we want to do is practice changing our perspective. And the first step is to take inventory of our values every day. If you take inventory of your values every day, you will be practicing changing your perspective, because we are constantly looking at what's personally important to me and prioritizing it, what experiential is important to me and prioritizing, what giving wise, what value, service, solution am I going to provide, and how am I going to prioritize it, and then receiving. What do I want to receive today and prioritize it? If you don't take inventory of your values every day, and if you're not afraid of being a hypocrite, saying, I changed my mind, I know yesterday I wanted a yellow Ferrari and today I want a pink Prius, that's okay. Don't be afraid, because that will allow you to what? Change your perspective through your values, through the lens of gratitude, finding the light, the love, and the lessons in your own values, experiences, giving and receiving transactions. That's what we're talking about. The practice of changing your perspective is utilized through a lens of gratitude. That challenge, that pursuit of finding the greater good, the greater source of light, love, and lessons in everything. How can one start practicing not lingering on outcomes? One of the greatest conflicts and counterintuitive processes is that which I'm doing my best. How can I, give everything I have, but allow things to happen? How can I not care about an outcome? Well, it's not that you don't care. You're going to pursue your outcome. You want to detach your emotions from the outcome. And we do that by trying to clear the ego out of the way, that we know what we're doing, that we know what we're talking about, that we know the future. None of those things are true. So what we need to do is focus on those inventory of values, so that what? We're happy where we are today, and we are in the right place at the perfect time. And then we give all of our efforts, our mindset, our heart set, what we think, say, do, believe, our unconscious competencies, angling towards, and the reason I say angling towards what we want is that we're going towards what we want, but we're going to get a whole bunch of mistakes along the way, a whole bunch of pain, a whole bunch of suffering, which is going to be a turn signal to indicate that I got to angle there. I'm going to be going in a direction that I don't know, or I didn't know I'd have to go in order to get to where I was. But here's the cool thing. If you can detach your emotions from the outcome, you can have more faith that you're going to end up somewhere better, not worse, better than you thought you wanted to be. And so this egoless process of practicing not attaching or lingering on outcomes will allow you to accelerate, grow, compound your interest in what you're doing with a much more enjoyable, consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit pursuit of your own potential, your own outcome that's greater than the one that you could even think of. Hello, David. I found about via Impact Theory. Yes, if you haven't checked out Tom Bilyeu's Impact Theory, one of my best interviews, back and forth, you can check it out. Go to YouTube. Just type David Meltzer, Impact Theory. Thank you very much. How do you shift from being angry about something to being grateful about it? Well, there's a process of being a ferocious Buddha. When we are angry, we are in ego-based consciousness. So the number one thing is we want to identify when we're angry. We want to tell ourselves, wait a second, I'm angry. Because if we can get into the practice of stopping when we're angry, and then dropping by breathing down to your highest frequency. Notice I said down to your highest frequency. When I said down to your highest frequency, I mean neutral or peace is your highest frequency. It's your highest awareness. It's when you're vibrating the fastest. It's when you make the best decisions. It's when you're most efficient, effective, and statistically successful. It's when everything comes into coordination and coexistence with you and coinciding with exactly what you want. It is attributable to the unbelievable mathematical equation of luck. What we pay attention to, give intention to, will give us the coincidences we want. And if we're in anger or fear or frustration, we are not in the trajectory that we want to be in. Right? If you're just off 1%, look how far when you accelerate you go from where you want to be. We don't want to do that. So we want to identify when we're angry. We want to stop. We want to drop to our highest frequency into neutral by breathing like a Buddha. And then we want to roll in the right trajectory with a higher frequency, a higher statistical success. I love your story. I hope you remember me from Instagram. I do. Thank you. How can we practice gratitude other than saying thank you? That is a powerful question. We practice gratitude when we find the light, love, and lessons in things. What does that mean? We are practicing gratitude when we are pursuing and studying and giving intention into what we want. We're practicing gratitude when we practice radical humility. We're practicing gratitude each time we make a mistake and learn a lesson from it and stay out of creating interference, separation, void, shortages, and obstacles. Every time we draw closer together and connect, we are practicing gratitude. Gratitude is a lens. So every time we use the lens to not just see it as, not half full, not just to see it as, half empty or half full, it's over full. It's practice of gratitude moves us from a world of not enough, where you're a victim and everything happens to you and there's not enough of anything for anyone, no matter how much you have, to a world of just enough, where there's just enough for you and you learn the lessons by buying things you don't need, to buy, different things you don't need to be happy, to buy more things you don't need to be happy, to buying things to impress people to be happy, to buy things that impress people you don't even like to be happy. And then we move into this higher level of practice of gratitude, the black belt of gratitude, the lens of gratitude that allows us to live in a world of more than enough of everything for everyone. To identify when we're in the ego-based consciousness with the need to be angry or frustrated or mad or separate or inferior or superior or anxious or frustrated or resentful or right, the need to be right and offended, guilty, all of these things. If we practice that gratitude, by stop, dropping, and rolling as well, by doing good deeds and being kind, those are great ways to practice gratitude. What's your favorite way to give? Through me. So it took me years to shift the paradigm of giving. I used to believe my favorite way to give was I would give to receive. And giving to receive ended up to be a scarce type of transaction, because I would give as a trade to receiving something back: acknowledgement, recognition, items, quid pro quo, ideas. And so my favorite way to give is unconditionally, where I only have to focus in on what I'm receiving, because I'm 100% clear that it comes through me with my appreciation, my gratitude, forgiveness, and accountability. With my gratitude, it comes through me when I add my value to it and then give it away unconditionally to everything and everyone, because I am connected. No tree does not have, no branches will go to fight against one another. A tree has no branches. One branch will not fight another branch. It would kill the tree. We're all connected, and the more that I can feel and practice that and clear that connection to understand, that's my favorite way to give, through me, in a world of more than enough of everything for everyone. I know people I need to approach to leverage my network to open my law firm. Okay? How do I be more interested than interesting to initiate a conversation? And then 2, what type of meetings should request in COVID, not coffee dates or office visits? So I need to approach to leverage my network to open my law firm. So first of all, this applies to every type of business. There are 4 ways that we approach people. In person, there's rules that we have to follow today with COVID. On the phone, very few rules, and that's text and phone calls and voicemail. Email, and then media as radio, print, TV, billboard, traditional media, and then the amplifying media of social media. So 2 separate types of media that we can utilize this idea that everyone is a sponsor or a power sponsor of ours. There are no gatekeepers, there's no resistance, there's no void, shortages, and obstacles. There are only sponsors and power sponsors. So what we need to do is learn to ask questions. And if you'd like the guide on this, I have a great guide called the Reasons, Impacts, and Capability Guide that will allow you to ask the open-ended questions to find out not only how you could be of service or value to other people, gaining that credibility, but also getting you into a comfortable position to align synergistically or supplementary to ask, do you know anyone that can help me? Do you know anyone that can help me? And if you're asking people every day in person, via the rules that exist because of COVID, on the phone, voicemail, text, email, and the duality of media, traditional media, radio, print, TV, and the amplifying media of social media, where you can capture the traditional media and amplify it and get two bangs for the buck, as they say, with the amplification side of media. And if you are more interested than interesting by asking open-ended questions, utilizing leading questions in order to facilitate a summarized articulation of a quantified value where you can see no reason why you wouldn't want to help me, or see no reason why you won't want to help me find someone that can help me. Power sponsors and sponsors. That's how we're more interested than interesting. Once again, if you want a guide on that, I have one. It's free. David@dmeltzer.com. Go ahead and reach out. What types of meetings should request in COVID, i.e. not coffee dates or office visits? Whatever they want, right? But why are we guessing? People like Zoom or StreamYard or telephone calls or email. Why not just ask someone, hey, I'd love to sit down with you. What's the best way? You like phone calls? You want a Zoom call? You want to see my face for radio? I'm more than happy to do it. So ask them how to do it. More importantly, though, than where or how is how much time, right? So for me, I have a 5:20 rule. I try to keep every phone call and to 5 minutes and every meeting or interview to 20, because after that, I'm just visiting. And if I want to visit, I'll visit with the people that I want to visit with, family, friends, associates that I want to visit with. And if I want to do business, I'm going to get down to business within 5 minutes. And therefore, I'm exponentially more successful simply because of the number of meetings, interviews that I can take in a day and get the equal or greater than results by staying refocused on what we're doing and what the objectives are, not just visiting and circumventing what the purpose of our interaction is going to be. Hi all. Don't forget to submit your questions in the QA box at the bottom. Okay. Yeah, keep them coming. We got good questions coming in. Thank you, everyone. Keep them coming here as we go. And if you want my books, it says David@dmeltzer.com. My exercises, books, guides. If you want to try out for the TV show, we're going to have a second season in Bloomberg in June. Join me. January will be airing the first season, filming next week. Try out David@dmeltzer.com. You could always text me to join my text community, 949-298-2905. Did any of your grandparents have a big influence on you? Yes, all four of them. I was blessed. I think one of the greatest accomplishments of my law school career was that I was the only one graduating from law school that had all four of my grandparents still alive. And so they had quite an influence on me. I used to call my grandparents collect every week to speak with them when I was in college and in law school. Every single week, I had great admiration and respect for the knowledge, situational knowledge. I think their biggest influence was how important their situational knowledge is, the wisdom. When you talk about being younger and having, or being an older soul, it's being able and capable of recognizing who has wisdom and asking the hard questions, and worse, taking the hard answers, and then sifting between what's right for you without being overwhelmed by the idea that because someone loves you so much, and trust me, grandparents love you too much, that they're giving you good advice. There's a bunch of different lessons, but they had a great influence on me. I was hugely blessed to have all four of my grandparents, who I miss dearly, but I'm so grateful that they live with me in decisions that I make today, in the life that I'm leading today. And you should feel the same way about yours. How do you feel grateful for the people who have emotionally hurt us? That's almost everyone, if you're emotionally hurtable. How do we look at this as a learning lesson? Or how do we know what lessons there is to be learned? Okay, first of all, nobody can hurt you emotionally. You control the way you mindset that you think, and you control the way you feel. People can say things to you that are not nice. People can attack you. They can make judgments against you. They can talk behind your back, and your initial reaction will be an ego-based emotion called hurt or pain. I suggest you use that pain not as a stop sign, but as a turn signal to find the lesson. And the way that we do that is we ask ourselves, why did it hurt so much that that person said that I have a big nose? Why did that hurt? Right? I mean, look, everybody can see I don't have a big nose. I have a small face. Ta-da! right? Don't take yourself so seriously. You can't hurt me unless I allow that to happen and let you steal my joy by taking what you say and applying it to what I may have shortages, voids, or insecurities about. If I told you, oh, you have eyebrows, that probably would not hurt your feelings. If I said you had ugly eyebrows, that may. There is no difference between the two statements. It's you. You cannot find outside of you what you can't find inside of you. The lessons are asking yourself, why does it hurt? And figuring out so it doesn't hurt anymore. So you end up in a better place, a better position. Ask yourself the hard questions. Why does that hurt that they said that or did that to me? Why does it hurt? And then you can learn the lesson so it doesn't happen again. You can use the great feeding chain. If somebody is projecting their insecurities onto you and not making you feel good, then get away from them, fire them, let them fall away from your lives. It's extraordinary. How to be grateful for relationships that are challenging. Well, I think all relationships are challenging. It's to what degree you respond to the challenge. So for me, be grateful for the challenges are allowing me to grow. If you're not growing, you're dying. And relationships help us grow in an exponential, accelerated manner because we're sharing the experience of how connected we are and how that works together. And we get to raise our awareness of what interference exists between ourselves and others, which we then look within to find out, why does this exist? Why does this challenge? Why does that hurt my feelings? Why did I do that to that person? Why can't, right? And that's where gratitude comes in with forgiveness and accountability. If you are gracious, forgiving, and accountable in your relationships, your challenges will dissipate, dissolve, and disappear. They will arise, but you'll only spend minutes and moments in that state of mind, in that heart set, by thinking, saying, doing, and believing all the right things, changing your personality traits, characteristics, obsessions, and addictions from a why me person, why did they say that, to a try me, right? Being able to raise above and illuminate the truth that I don't have a big nose, I have a small face. No, you understand, it doesn't matter. What is a big nose, good or bad? I don't know. Depends what you're using it for. We won't go too much farther on that. All right, here we go. Questions from Leslie in the chat. Question: I know people I need to approach to leverage my network to open my law firm. I'd be more. Oh, sorry, I read that one. It's already been there. Do you think gratitude is addicting? Okay. The way addictions work, yes. Yes. The way addictions work is that there's 10,000 new thoughts every day. So if we overload the new thoughts every single day, it's going to then activate our subconscious thoughts of that. And the more that we do it, the more it activates there, more neural pathways are formed. When a neural pathway is formed, a gratitude neural pathway, it's a habit. Habits are addicting, meaning that we have a tendency to need to do it, or at least want to do it every day. And what we want to do is make sure that our quantum memory, our addictions, our compulsions, our personality traits and characteristics are aligned with our values of what we want in our lives. I can't think of anything better to be addicted to than gratitude, than addicted to finding the light, the love, and the lessons and everything. In other words, addicted to enjoying the consistent, persistent pursuit of your potential. In other words, addicted to being happy. In other words, addicted to empowering others to empower others to be happy. It's that easy. Yes, gratitude, absolutely. That's why I have you say it before you go to bed when you wake up. Remember, if you can say it before, go ahead, DM me a thumbs up. If you can say it for 30 straight days, it'll change your life. I'll send you my book. I'll sign it. Congratulations to you. No problem. I'll pay for shipping. You can email me, david@dmeltzer.com. If you want any of the exercises, books on gratitude, ego training, pitching training, sales training. If you or I move too quickly on these questions, want to go back, share it with a friend. It's featured on Spotify. All of my trainings are featured on Spotify, Entrepreneur, every platform. You can see them there. Check them out. You'll love them. And hopefully it'll help you find the light, the love, and the lessons. What is something you didn't used to be grateful for that you are now? Wow. I'll tell you. This is probably sound funny. I am grateful for being able to eat what I want and not gain weight. So I was not grateful for that in the past, and it allowed me not to stop exercising and to, do stupid stuff with my health to lose weight. And once I became grateful for the fact that I can eat whatever I want, my perspective on food changed, and my body changed, and my health changed. And so, when I played college football, they made me eat a all meat burrito and a full bag of French fries at midnight every single night, just so I'd keep my weight. And my dad would tell me, "Oh God, you're so lucky. You get to eat whatever you want. You can't gain weight." And I was not grateful for that. And if I could have a gift, that would be my Thanksgiving or my holiday gift. Just give me one day where I could eat every single thing and not get sick and not not gain weight. I personally have been putting my concentration, attention and intention is concentration, hopefully on appreciation. However, I find everything falling apart in my life. It is difficult not to want to give up. How do I stay positive? First of all, when you take the perspective that everything is falling apart in your life, you're losing the point of gratitude, right? Because gratitude is to find the light, find the love, find the lessons. There are always good things that are going. You can frame it up, you can alter ego it, you can do a variety of different mechanisms to find the light, the love, and the lessons, but everything is not falling apart. You have everything you need, or you wouldn't be here. Your life can't be falling apart too much if you're on this right now. Certain things in your life need improvement. Certain things in your life you want more of. And now, change your perspective to enjoy the pursuit of it. Enjoy it. It's not falling apart. It's setting you up for something better. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. You're at the right way at the perfect time. All the things changing around you is not falling apart. It's just angling you to something better. Now, put your mindset and heart set in what you think, say, do, and believe. Get the law of Goya into place. Get off your ass and pursue what you want. You're closer than you believe. I promise you. That's how you stay positive. Look for the superpowers. Look for what you do want. Don't look for what's missing in your life. You'll get what's missing. Don't look for what other people want for you in your life. You'll get what other people want for you. Don't look for what you don't want in your life, things falling apart, because you'll get more things falling apart. Look at what's going well and what more of what you want to go well. And that's what's going to come if you pay attention and give intention to it. Put your concentration on finding the light, the love, and the lessons in what you're doing. In other words, finding the superpowers in what you're doing. How did you know your values? How did you know your values? And how did you teach your kids to know their values? Well, I started on the journey about 15 years ago by taking stock in my values. And two of the things that I thought about were before I even went to kindergarten. I love the book. Everything that I ever needed to know, I learned in kindergarten. I have the two things that I definitely needed to know, I learned before kindergarten. One is to say thank you. From the time I could speak, everybody would say thank you, say thank you. If I go downstairs and I didn't have a gracious attitude, my mom would say, go back up, figure out what you're thankful for, come down with the attitude of gratitude, or you're not going to have a meal with me. This is the kind of thing that I learned early on. The second one is to ask, right? Since the time I was 3 years old. Okay, Dave, you got to ask. You got to ask. We got to take and put confidence in everyone else by asking for help, by being radically humble, by utilizing that RIC, that exercise that, for me, every day I take inventory of those values and they change. I realized as I got older that people know a snapshot of David Meltzer. Some of those snapshots are far better than I am, and some snapshots are far worse than I am. But they're still there. Those are the snapshots that I have to deal with. And so I have to ascertain and prioritize my values every day, and not being afraid to be a hypocrite to those values, where someone will say, yeah, but he was this. Yes, I was that. Now I'm this, because I changed my values. And what I do to help my children know their values is I have them take inventory of their values every day, and I do it with them. I'll say, what's important to you today? What are you going to do today? And I'm not going to take I don't know for an answer. When I go out, if I ask where do you want to go, I don't take I don't know for an answer. If I ask them what they want to eat, I don't take I don't know for an answer. When you take I don't know for an answer, or you take empathy or apathy, as an answer, you are just contributing to the fact that you're going to allow life to happen to them and they're going to be victims. I challenge my children and make them decide, because in order to make a decision, as I wrote in Game Time Decision Making, that book right back here, you got to take inventory of your values to know your what. Your why will come. I want my kids to know their what, to take inventory of their values. So don't let your kids get away with saying, I don't know. Don't let them be apathetic. Force them to prioritize their own values and tell you what they want. Because then you could teach them, okay, let's find someone that has it and get directions to it. All right? That's how we make things happen. Let's empower our own kids to do what we can't do at times. Advice for college kids on building a personal brand. Number one piece of advice for college kids building a personal brand. Time is on your side. Time is on your side. So build your brand of who you are. Don't try to please everyone. Don't try to be something for people to like. Don't want to please everybody. I would rather have people hate you for who you are than love you for who you're not. Love yourself. Continually practice in person, on the phone, via email, and the duality of media, radio, print, TV, social media, amplifying that. Build your brand, your personality. If it's favorite quotes, if it's nail polish, if it's pimple popping, whatever it is, consistently every day, post it and create as much as you can aligned with your frequency, and know that time is on your side. Remember, if you're building a brand, use the Noah's Ark example of building a brand. 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. Even when I built my brand, 3 Super Bowls ago, and Gary Vee asked me, how are you going to do this? I said, I just need 2 ambassadors, right? I want 2 people a year that will tell 2 people, you got to read David's book, Connected to Goodness, or Compassionate Capitalism, or Game Time Decision Maker, or Unstoppable. You got to read those. You got to listen to the podcast, the playbook. You got to watch the replays on Spotify or Entrepreneur. You got to come to his Friday trainings for free. You all these things. I just need 2 people to get me 2 people a year. And if that happens, I have time on my side, because at the time I'm 70, I'll have 2 million people getting me 2 million people a year. I'll be one of the most successful and popular and impactful and powerful 70-year-olds on Instagram, if it's still around or whatever. So build your brand. The difference is, if you're a college kid, you'll only be 42 when I'm 70, and that will just grow from 42 to 2 million to 4 million to 8 million to 16 million. Time is on your side. What are your thoughts on gratitude being addicting? Yes, it is. The science behind it, if you will. The science I talked about is the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious continuum that we do every day. Goes into our subconscious. What we activate in our subconscious turns into neural pathways. Neural pathways send a signal to the quantum memory, to our DNA, activating via an epigenetic layer of a DNA what exactly exists in our personality traits, characteristics, obsessions, and addictions. So if gratitude is what we're putting through that process, we can be addicted to gratitude. We can be addicted to finding the light, the love, and the lessons in everything that we do. What is the process of taking inventory of your values? Good question. So for me, it's sitting down quietly. I do this during meditation, and asking myself, what is personally important to me today? What's personally? So for me, it's always a minimum of an hour a day on my health. 30 minutes with my wife, minimum. 30 minutes with my son, minimum. 2 minutes with my teenage daughters, minimum. 1 minute with my mom, minimum. All of those are personal values of mine. Then studying is important to me personally. I want to take time to pay attention to and give intention to the coincidences I want in my life. That's right, activating the mathematical equation of luck. Attention plus intention equals those coincidences. And then I go to experiences. From studying my calendar, I ask myself, what do I want to experience today? I want to see the beach. I want to read this book. I want to learn this. I want whatever it is. I want to know the what I want to experience. Then I look at the giving values and think to myself, what value can I provide to others? What service, solution, or value can I provide? In what context, and how do I prioritize that? And then finally, most importantly, I seep into radical humility by understanding receiving values. What do I want? And how am I going to prioritize it? Do I want to make money today? Do I want to buy a car? Do I want what do I want for me? Do I want someone to give me something to help me? What do I want? And then I look at it all and I prioritize it and I put a weighted balance onto each of the things that I have, right? Not a complete balance, not 25, 25, 25, 25%, but a weighted balance. And then I knock them off one at a time. And then when things occur, I either shift over to an adaptable routine or just do it now and utilize my calendar as that foundation in order to facilitate this lens of gratitude, productivity, and accessibility, to see what I have planned during the day, what I don't have planned today, and of course my sleep, which is also a priority in my value system. That my tomorrow starts today. I have an unwind routine that is a warm-up to 8 hours of sleep. What is your superpower? Kindness and raising money in business. Those are the two things. My superpower is kindness, and two, raising money. Those are two of my superpowers. It's my dad's first time joining me on this call. Can you explain what you consider to be your purpose and how you could be of service? Much love. Thank you. My purpose is to enjoy, to be happy with, consistently every day, persistently without quit, pursuing my own potential. And my own potential is to empower people to be happy. In fact, I want to empower over 1 billion people with a B to be happy. The way that I'm going to do that is through, like I have been for 20 years, these free trainings, my exercises, my books, my guides for free. You just got to reach me, david@dmeltzer.com. You can join my text community, 949-298-2905. But through that and all the TV shows I do, from Elevator Pitch to 2-Minute Drill to the World's Greatest Motivators to all the podcasts, the playbook, office hours, my IG lives, all the free trainings that I give, the exercises, guides, the 4 books that I've written, all of them with one purpose: to find 1,000 people like you, Marco Antonio, to find 1,000 people like you that will empower 1,000 people to empower 1,000 people to be happy. 1,000 times 1,000 is 1,000,000. 1,000,000 times 1,000 is 1,000,000,000. Imagine if we could create happiness in 1 billion people. 1 billion people. It's a collective consciousness. It's 1 billion people, or over 1 billion people, being happy and abundant, living in a world of more than enough of everything for everyone, with the superpowers of kindness and gratitude and forgiveness and accountability, living inspired in spirit, not creating interferences, voids, and shortages, not separating us, but unifying us. No inferiority or superiority, no judgments or conditions, and most of all, no attacks, no disease. All of those things would exist in a collective consciousness of happiness. And if we could do that with over 1 billion people, remember, one little particle of light will overcome 1,000,000 particles of darkness. Imagine the physical effect it'll have on our universe by having such a great, forceful consciousness that's created simply by my mission. Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez, for joining us. It's absolutely an honor. Thank you. I hope that satisfied what in you are aligned, and hopefully will be one of my 1,000. You should be proud of your son. Thoughts on the expression, you get what you believe you deserve. Wow. You get what you believe you deserve. Well, you get what you believe. So if you get what you believe you deserve, you're going to get what you believe you deserve, right? Once the mind conceives it, once the body believes it, you will achieve it. And whether you deserve it or not is just an affirmation for your own mental status. So absolutely, you will get exactly what you want. And if it's that you feel that you deserve it, that's fine. But when the bigger question, or the bigger lesson, is that if you're able to find the light, the love, and the lessons in what you get, you always get what you deserve. You know you're at the right way at the perfect time, that you're angling towards what you want, and you have faith, no matter what comes to you, through you, for you, that it's better, that there's something better. That once you find the light, the love, and the lessons, you'll know why this is benefit, expanding, growing, and accelerating you. So everything takes on a positive perception. Very good. Here we go. What books did you read, recommend for laws of vibration and laws of attraction? Well, Power of Intention by Wayne Dyer, Course in Miracles. Also The Secret, John Assaraf, Inner Size, Dr. Sangeeta Sahi, Theta Meditation, Quantum Healing. I also read Einstein, a variety of different things from Einstein. Max Planck, Castanedas, David Hawkins, some great things to read. Remember, there's 3 laws that I follow. 1, the law of gravity. That's Newton. Why is the law of gravity important? Sorry. Why is the law of gravity important? Because I think you have to believe that things will be drawn to you. Right? So the law of gravity will bring them to this material world. The law of Goya is get off your ass. You need to put things in action. Einstein, Dyer, Castanedas, you put it into movement, what you want, either by what you think, say, do, believe here in the quantum memories that you have. And then finally, when you get through that continuum of the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious mind, you create a frequency or a beacon that then attracts back through the law of Goya to the law of gravity into ourselves what we want. So that is how I believe that'll work. What was the quote that you said about changing your lens and it will change your lens and it will change your life? Change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So if you change the lens, the things you look at will change as well, and your life will change. Change the lens that you look through, and your life will immediately change. Immediately change. What lenses are you using? Are you using the lens of productivity, how much value and service you're providing, of accessibility, how accessible are you to others, gratitude, finding the light, the love, and the lessons? Hi, David. We met in Australia at the MDRT, the $1 Million Roundtable Conference, where I got to speak at the Sydney Theatre and attended your powerful class. I still have the same issue, being embarrassed to call my friends for insurance business. I have fear of rejection. How do I get past this and make my daily dials every day? Don't ask them for their business. Ask if they know anyone that can help you. Hey, I got this great new product that is an IUL, index-based annuity for people that want a long-term tax-free benefit. Do you know anyone that could help me? Do you know anyone that could help me? Ask them in person, on the phone, via email, and social media. But you don't have to know the person. You don't have to just call your friends and family. Anybody should be connected to you enough to know somebody to help you. And lo and behold, sometimes when we ask people if they know anyone that can help you, they themselves can help you. And you get a duplicative or exponential result by asking, do you know anyone that can help me? Just go ahead. Close your eyes before you call if you have resistance, void, shortages, scariness. Just close your eyes and tell yourself, this is effortless. I'm going to receive no resistance. I quantify and articulate the quantified value. There's no reason anybody won't want to move forward. And then dial and watch what happens. How do I remain grateful in times of hardship? Well, first of all, how is time related to hardship? Right? Hardship is a perception. Suffering, for me, or hardship, suffering is a process of finding the light, the love, and the lesson. So I don't think suffering is hardship. Now other people do, because they're not taking the right lens or the right perception of what's going on. They see things as setbacks. They see that they're being punished. They see that they're victims. But the minute you shift that lens to finding the light, the love, and the lessons in what you're doing, it takes on a positive aspect. The light, the particle of light overcomes the million particles of darkness. Your whole perception changes from that to be excited about the difficulties or the challenges that before used to stop you and now just accelerate you or propel you in a better place, a better position, a better situation, by getting excited, by always looking for the light, the love, and the lessons, and being confident that you love you and you'll continue to do that as well. When do you know when to leave when someone don't want to live to its potential in a relationship? Like in nature, when something is not growing, it's dying. When do you want to leave someone that you don't want to live to its potential in a relationship? Yeah. So I use a great feeding chain in all relationships. And the feeding chain is a variance of a chain from those who feed me most, I feed the most. Those who feed me less, I feed less. Those that don't feed me, I have a variance of either, associating with them to letting them fall away, all the way to those people that bleed me. I have a variance of how much I let them fall away to when I have to fire them from my life. So that feeding chain is how I perceive my relationships. And if somebody is bleeding me, I'm going to fire them. And not because of them, right? I'm going to be candid and honest with them and say, look, I don't like who I am when I'm with you. Therefore, I can't be with you. This has nothing to do with you. This has to do with me. I'm accountable and I'm heartbroken that I can't feel good around you, but I can't. And as soon as I work through that, maybe someday we can share a relationship, but I don't like who I am when I'm with you. And that has changed my life. Probably saved my life as well. Not from bad people, but from myself. Let me repeat that. That chain, that variance chain of feeding to bleeding has changed my life, if not saved my life. Saved my life because of me, not them. I had one of my friends tell me I wasn't going to be successful. I got a million friends like that. And that he doesn't see value in me. Yep, I got friends like that. And it hurt me when he said that. Yep, it hurt me when I heard that. I cherish all my friends, but now I don't know what to do with that statement. Forgive it? What advice can you give me on handling this? One, ask yourself why it hurt and how much it really hurts. Does it hurt because you're afraid he's right? Does it hurt because you're afraid you don't feel worthy? Does it hurt because you thought he was your friend and he shouldn't say negative things about you and that he should only think, say, and do positive things about you? Because I'm sure that's what you do towards him. You've never had negative thoughts, words, or attacks. Just forgive yourself. Ask yourself, why did this hurt? And if it continues, then let them fall away or fire them. But if it's a one-time statement, it's okay to ask someone when they say you're not going to be successful, say, at what? At what? Because I'm super successful at going to the bathroom every morning. No, I'm serious. Like, you're not going to be successful. Oh, really? So what am I not going to be successful at? Because I can list a billion things I'm not successful at. I'm not going to be successful being an NBA All-Star. Oh, boy, that ruined my life. Come on. Let's use our mindset, our heart set, and what we think, say, do, and believe. Let's ask the right questions. Let's use the chain feeding variance to allow ourselves to surround ourselves with the right people, the right ideas. Best lesson that a coach taught you. Rule number 6, Dr. Wayne Dyer. Rule number 6, don't take yourself so seriously. Rule number 6, when I find myself in ego-based consciousness, identifying the need to be right, offended, separate, inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, angry, I sometimes, after I stop, just say, don't take yourself so seriously. Because really, the person only cares about themselves. They don't want to hurt you. They want to help you. Next, what's the best way to get interviewed on podcasts? To get interviewed on podcasts? Ask. Ask is the best way. Ask people, do you know one can help me? Do you know one with a podcast? I'd love to get on their podcast. Ask in person, on the phone, via email, media, radio, print, TV. Email me. Get on one of my podcasts, david@dmeltzer.com. Get my exercises, my guides, my books for free, david@dmeltzer.com. Join my text community, 949-298-2905. Try out for the new TV show, 2-Minute Drill, dmeltzer.com/pitch or david@dmeltzer.com. Just email me. We'd love to have you. $50,000 of cash and prizes each episode on Bloomberg TV, on Amazon. You're going to love it. All right. Well, we're out of time, everyone. I want to wish everybody a very, very happy Thanksgiving. Next week's training is on budgeting. A lot more practical, personal, and professional budgeting. If you have problems budgeting, I will give you the tips, the tricks, and the trades. You'll get exercises, guides, books for free from me, david@dmeltzer.com. Remember, if you missed this or you want to share it, it's replayed on Spotify. There's a playlist. The playbook is on Entrepreneur, as well as all other platforms. Check it out, replay it, send it to your friends, share it, comment. Please be in touch with me. Don't forget to ask. And most importantly, everyone, remember, happy Thanksgiving. Be kind to your future self and do good deeds. Have a great holiday. Thank you.